purple ink, stop playing. Hey Flex, you hear what I'm saying? Everybody think I'm playing, boy, I got things to do. Check me out on Reddit, click it too. Stop playing around, ain't nothing to clown. Let's get this money, no time now. Let's get it, boy, you know I had a lot of work to do. But now I'm back with the crew on YouTube. It's clean ball shave, let's get it. It's clean ball shave all day. Got to stay clean, no problem. It's like the sheen, man. Can you see the sheen?
Stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. I look funny, but yo, I'm making money, see? So yo, world, I hope you're ready for me.
Alright, hopefully you like that intro. I'll be doing more like that. Let's get started. First thing you're going to need is some alcohol. I mean, let's keep it real. You're going to have to get some alcohol up in here. It does something to the follicles over here. Now, see, I have a razor that's pretty old, so I'm saying you can do it with any razor. Yes, it's a purple mirror, but 75 cents from Family Dollar, worth it. So I'm saying you can cut your hair for underneath a $5 budget for 6 to 7 months. Make sure you clean the blade. I know that's obvious, but clean the blade with alcohol before you use it. And also put alcohol on your head before you actually start to cut your hair. It's important to have no shirt on, okay? There's nothing more irritating than having follicles of hair on your back and everything. As you can see, there's a big sink that's stopping me from being too close to the mirror, but that's no problem. I'm sure you will be able to have a mirror that is hung up behind your door or something like that, where you don't have to be slouching much like I am. But I'm kind of used to this and just trying to quickly show you how I can do it. Now, as you're cutting your hair, you have to make sure that you are in a cool state of mind. You can't have things to do or be in a rush to do things. It won't work, okay? Because the alcohol, as you can see, it will spill all over the place. And if it spills in your eye, well, you'll do more than cry. All right, so as you can tell, I'm using both hands. I don't normally do that until the end. Yes, the end, where I can't see in the back, okay? But for now, what I like to do is do an over kind of thing where I kind of barely go over the hairs that are kind of sticking up. Yes, towel. Make sure you put a towel down, okay? Some people say, oh, just go out and start cutting your hair, but no. It's easier to put a towel down. That way you can shake it off. Yes, lazy me shakes it off in a carpet, and then when I'm ready, I vacuum clean it up. All right. So it's really important for you to use the technique. It's called hashing, just like hashtag me too or whatever. You hash, meaning you can't do it like you're cutting grass. You have to do sections, like a piece of a puzzle at a time. One piece of a puzzle until you find that piece, and then you move on. Yes, your hands are going to get tired, but the more you do this, the less you'll have to put your hands down, okay? Now watch. See how I'm delousing that thing? I'm drenching it with the alcohol, and now it's back to, I don't have to use two hands or whatever. I'm barely kind of going even quicker than I was before. It's all about the alcohol. It really does make a big difference. Also, most importantly, you may know this or may not know this, but make sure you scrub your head pretty well. You see, if you don't scrub your head, the dead skin cells that are on top of your head, they accumulate, and you may not be able to see them, but your blade has a tougher time in cutting your hair. And that, you know, you'll notice that if you cut your hair like that, some follicles will stick up. But once you wash your hair and then jump out of the shower and start cutting your hair, it'll be as if, you know, like when you cut grass, the drier the grass, the smoother it is to cut through the blades. Well, that's kind of the same thing, except for like you're using alcohol. Now here we are. We're getting to the back of the head. Now only use the mirror when you're going towards the back of your head. In some cases, a lot of times it's good to do the hardest thing first, but in this case, this one case that I know of, it's best to do the easiest thing first, which is seeing if you can get whatever you can see in the front mirror. That way you're not going wild and crazy trying to think of if you remember to get a certain section or whatever. Because once you're done with the front, then you only have the back to do, and you can kind of relax your hand a little bit more. That's a really key important thing that I kind of had to develop, and kind of giving you an upper skill and not having to go through that. Now here goes another important thing right here, the fourth important thing. You have to keep in mind that your head has lumps and bumps. Look at my head. Now, many of you have different head shapes. You may have a more of a cranium thing going on in the back. I've realized that I have a more frontal lobe. That's probably why I care so much. Like, I have more of a frontal lobe thing, much like my daughter does too. And but that doesn't really matter. When you are starting to cut your hair, just remember that you're going to have to adjust your blade according to the lump that you have to go over. Okay. All right. And when you're doing it, don't try to remember it for the next time. Just don't try to focus on, did I cut this or did I cut that? Just focus on enjoying the little movements you're doing and having fun with the movements. You see, because if you start to get agitated, you're going to put it down, you're going to stop, you're going to find something else to do. As you can see, I'm still going, I'm not stopping, but it's not like I'm trying to rush it. Okay, it's like playing a violin. When you're playing a violin, if you play it too hard, it sounds bad. If you play it too soft, it sounds bad. Just right, and just have fun with it. All right. Now, I wanted to bring up another thing, was that I believe, in my opinion, that C-section kids have bigger heads than non-C-section kids. Because when you're going through the vaginal area, I think that pressure does something to the soft tissue of the head when it's developing. So not saying that's for all cases, but I think so, because my cousin, she has a kid. Her head is like really round shaped at the top, and like kind of round, smoothish. And even when she was a little girl, you could see the head shape. So whatever, moving on. So as you can see, I'm totally off topic. But so then, as you can see, I'm not really putting too much pressure on the blade. You see, it's like, as every time you see that I'm moving it, I'm literally lifting up slightly. Up, 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 up. And it's important to do that. You see, you will eventually start to get used to the way the blade sounds and feel when it is actually doing proper work. You'll know, you'll feel it, you'll hear it because of your mistakes. Think you learn from your mistakes, literally. So here we go. As you see, you'll see me as I'm stopping to rest up. You have to wipe off the excess here. Don't try to cut your whole head and not wipe off or shake. See right there, the alcohol spilled in my eye, and I'm trying to play it off right there. But burn, baby. So you must wipe off that excess here. Okay, if you don't, it's gonna be very difficult for that blade to run through. And you'll get tired. You'll get tired and frustrated and really say to yourself, okay, I'm not doing this again. So here we go. I've sped it up because I know that I'd want it sped up if I was watching the video too. As you can see, I kind of re-go over. I know it sucks, but the more you go over and redo it over and over again, you will see almost a better result than when you were finished. You know, the more you do it, if you have time to do it, you just, go over the same spot over and over again. As I said, it's important to have that angle. The angle is so important. If you don't have that angle, um, it's quite over for you. If you hold it the wrong way, you're going to get patches in your head and it's going to look pretty weird. Now, the fifth thing right here, too, that I forgot to tell you is do not have music or any distractions that will stop you from your flow. There's nothing more embarrassing than to halfway cut your hair. And, it sounds funny right now, like, oh, I'd never do that, or I won't cut my hair, I'll just get it cut by the barber if that was the case. Well, dude, I've done it before. You've seen a video of me when I had to leave the house, like, with half head, is what I call it. And it's not a good feeling. It's just not, So you don't want any distractions when you're doing this. Now, if you are ambidextrous or whatever they call it, where you can just use both hands, if you can do that, then you're in game right here. You're solid. You're winning. I mean, you'll be able to not get tired, and you probably be able to cut your hair a lot faster. But I'm a southpaw, according to the baseball players. That's so crazy. And there goes the hair itching me right there. I'm a southpaw, so I really relax when I have my left hand in operation. Like, I guess it's because it's closer to my heart or whatnot. But anyways, now it doesn't matter what side you like to do it. Just doesn't matter. Just make sure that you're using a hand that is very comfortable for you, okay? Where you can hold it up for 30 minutes at a time and know that you want to let it go, but you're able to override that feeling of wanting to let go and stop. It's all about devoting the time of much which you should be devoting to Yahweh or my Lord, Kumbaya. As much time as you should be devoting to the Almighty. This is a very important time that you need to be spending. Okay, this isn't like the shaving stuff where you can just like put that cream on your head and you shave your head with that blade and then you move on. I'm pretty sure that's cool to use that too, but you're doing 2 extra steps and it's just kind of not really worth that. It's probably a lot easier with the blade, but the sharpening of the blade, the potential of getting cut, and it being too close of a cut. I don't know if you noticed, but there's some people who has like too close of a cut. It's like, that's not really attractive. I want to make it look like my skin, not like I'm a baby back rib, like, or a slathered turkey breast. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to walk around like those old school cats who put like I guess Vaseline on their heads to get the shine going. It's like, no, I'm not trying to be Mr. Clean around here. I'm just I'm just trying to have a neutral look, like neutral, like no judgment. Can't judge this person off of this guy. All right. So I'm going to partially talk about why I think that hairstyles and long hair and all of that, and especially sexual attraction towards females and the manipulation that they use is all part of the old schism. The old schism. The old. There's nothing else to do on Earth but to waste our money on flashy things or whatever, and then we get old and and perishing. Yeah, and didn't really accomplish anything. Well, all of that's just old, like hairstyles, and you're going to see in the future that what's inside is what's going to count, not the person who immediately looks at your shoes when they first encounter you and doesn't even think to acknowledge that you're looking at them judge you. Like, and you're better than them, but because they're such low seated, another alcohol burn, damn, got me again. And they're below you, but they're judging you, and it's all going to go to the wayside. Just all the extra stuff, the wasted garbage that the people in the past had devoted their time to, and all of that stupid, wasted stuff that never brought anybody together is all going to the wayside. Um, the baby mamas who get extra taxes, all of that is going to the wayside. You're not going to get any extra money for kids. You're actually going to have to pay to have kids in the future. Like pay on top of feeding them. On top of that, you're not going to get a stimulus. Like that. I can tell you for sure that my refund check for my daughter goes down less and less and less and less every year. And in 1 year, you're not going to get paid for having your kid. Totally off the topic, but I don't want to leave you here bored. And you can kind of see and you get the gist of what I'm doing here. Delouse your head full of alcohol. Now, I'm going to be putting shameless plugs in here because I've been noticing that I don't know if people are getting my notifications or not, but I have a Reddit account that is just amazing, and Reddit is definitely one of the future things that is going to get big. And you're going to see this channel explode pretty soon. But I have to work. I can't devote time like I need to. But and be sure to check out my Google links, because when you click the Google stuff, you can be a part of the circle and the group. And there we discuss different things that I don't discuss on this channel. And shoot, if you want Patreon, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to be on YouTube. And until it shuts me down, which it doesn't look like it because the revenues are binking, and I don't even have that many subs or views. I don't see how the revenue is quite fluent. Maybe someone's pushing an extra button, whatever. So here we are to the final part. The back of the head, the crown of the head. I don't know about you, but that's my most sensitive spot. You may have a sensitive spot like the back of your neck or whatever, but mine is the crown, like right there where I'm at. It's real, not sensitive, but it's like ticklish. Yeah. So, I'm doing my hardest to like play it off, but in a sense, it's real ticklish, so I wait to the end. And that's what I suggest you to do. If there's a sensitive spot for you, don't immediately go towards it. Just kind of, work your way around it until you're finished. And as you see, when you're done, you see, I would go over my head once again normally, like go over it, wipe all of the access off, even with the Bluetooth on, it can still go, you can still keep wiping. And go over it again. It may look like it's bald, it may look like it's right, but if you wipe your hand on top of your head, and if you feel any resistance or any follicles of hair, you just simply like go over it. Just literally have to pretend like you're erasing your hairs off your head in a fun game. The moment you take it too seriously, you're finished, and there's no reason for you to even be cutting your hair by yourself. And here we go with something that's really crucial, but I honestly think that it takes a stern and, I don't know, a person who can go through almost anything. A person who, I think a resilient person will choose this path of doing it yourself rather than not. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video that will be coming up on both channels, and click those links below. Thanks. Let's get it.